All right. Okay, let me see who all's here and go from there. So what I do is I go to Zoom.
Hey.
Hey, let me go to the gallery. Whoops, I'm on gallery, but it doesn't show gallery.
Shush.
Okay, Joe. Okay, it doesn't show. Okay, that's the gallery.
Shush.
Yes, I hear somebody snoring there.
Oh, I'm Charles, just hold on. I'm trying.
Hey, Joe, I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to I'm trying to find the mute button. You know, I'm still having eye issues to read the computer. Mute.
Oh, that's fine. That's a good rhythm. We may get tranced out easier that way. Okay.
Sorry about that. I found the mute button. I'm still
Okay.
struggling to see the computer screen.
Okay. We'll just sort of you may just want to close your eyes and just listen, or maybe pet the doggies or things like that. Yay. Yay. However that works. What's now on my screen is just myself on the right, and there you are. Okay. I see your. What are those? Are you out to do a cross thing with your earrings? They're super. I mean, they sparkle and everything. Okay. Whoops. No volume. Go ahead and click the. There you go.
Oh,
I think there you are. I can hear you now. I
okay.
hear you.
You're little on the screen. I'm trying to get you to full screen, and I'm trying to see where I need to do
Okay.
full screen.
Let me see if I can
Uh,
get Brandon to help you with that. That's where
oh,
she's.
here, full screen. There you go.
Okay,
There you
you
go.
got it. All
I
right.
got it now.
All right. All right. I see you now, full screen. You've got a little bit of, from my point of view, a slight pinkish background. Not real pinkish, but just a little slight white. And
Mm-hmm.
okay, something like that. That's good. That's good. Did everything get worked out yesterday?
Yes.
Okay, good, good,
Yes. Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
good.
Just, want to just another appointment down the road. It's my eyes getting better. So that's what's really getting better.
Well, that is good to hear. That is good to
That's
hear
good to
because
hear.
mine are doing the same. I mean, it is amazing. It's really amazing.
Hmm. The
It's like,
ultraviolet is getting less and less. So,
is it? Okay,
that's not when you say pink, man, I'm thinking, boy, that's what I see, pink.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
great.
No, it's a nice type of color. Okay. It's almost like, well, it's not really pink, it's coral, if you will. It's more like a coral tint to it. Yeah. And we're just waiting to see who will show up in a little bit.
Is
And
that Brandon over there? Is that Brandon?
Brandon's right there.
Hi, Brandon.
He's waving at you. He's waving at you.
Okay,
And
great.
so let me just do a chant, just so someone
Okay.
can join us while we're doing the chant. And it goes something like this. I'm going to keep on doing it over and over again. It's 4 lines, or I do it 4 times. And it goes something like this. E laka e, hey, read.
Hi.
E laka ika leo, e laka ika loa a, e laka ika vai, me ka mahalo ihi. E laka e laka ika leo, e laka ika loa a, e laka ika vai, me ka mahalo ihi. E laka he laka ika leo, he laka ika loa a. He laka ika vai, me ka mahalo ihi. He laka he laka ika leo, he laka ika loa a. E laka ika vai, vai, me ka mahalo ihi. Me ka mahalo ihi. That was for Arlie. And Arlie is on my screen down here. Oh, God, good to see you. I see the palm trees are there and blowing in the wind and whoa.
He's with the chant.
Oh, wow. I'm just getting the energy. There'll be folks joining us in a little bit. And as they're doing that, let's just go ahead and chat a little bit. And let me just ask all of y'all a question and just say a word or two about it. And I'm going to pick on Arlie first, okay? Arlie, what would you be real happy learning here and taking it home with you?
First of all, can you hear me?
I hear you real clear.
Oh, great.
Oh,
Okay.
beautiful, beautiful, nice voice, everything. You're a little bit your face is a little bit like you're out in the sun, like it's shady.
Yeah, I need to I'll
Dark.
figure that out.
Okay, that's okay. And outside of
Okay.
that, it's perfect. I see the beach and pretty soon we'll see hula girls dancing and dolphins in the background, and I'll be okay with that.
Well, I guess for me, it would be nice to have some kind of spiritual thing that I'm doing to help me so that as we move through this, I'm just more balanced and more together and more connected with myself. And I just thank you for having this opportunity to connect and to do something like this. So thank you.
You are welcome. Okay, let me just make a note. Okay, and Reed, how could I help you today? What would you like to learn or take away with you?
I am just very excited to be here. I want to learn all your secrets about how to heal oneself and to heal other people so that I can help more people.
Very good answer. Did someone pay you for that? Or wait, I can pay you. Okay, that's what I was
No,
meaning to
not
have
at all.
fun with that.
That's where I'm coming
No,
from.
that is great. That is great. Well, that's what we're going to cover. And what I'm doing in this phase of my life is I am putting out all that I've learned is the best way that I know how to do that. And also tying that together with crystals so there can be some longevity by the information also being in the crystals. And crystals being a term that includes all the minerals as opposed to just quartz crystals. Because I'm going to show you a few minerals today that are very, very powerful, very powerful. And we'll go to that in a few moments. There are some other people joining. And please, Kejo, what would you be real happy learning, experiencing, walking away with today?
For me, having a little more peace in my life right now, just calmer.
And if you were there right now, I'm going to do my best to implement a new way of calibrating people. When I ask the question, the old question, what's the pain level 0 to 10? Well, what that does with my experience in language is that just brings up the pain in people and keeps it there. So I'm going to ask it a different way. What is it that you would like to experience at level 10 that would make you happy, joyful, fulfilled? Just be aware of that. 5 is neutral. 0 is you're in real extreme pain. You want to run out the door. So 0, you want to run out the door. You're looking at 5, kind of what, kind of a balance. Things are okay. You're awesomely fulfilled, happy. What's your level?
I'm
0 to 10.
probably at a 2 or 3. I'm just physically I'm feeling wound up, and that's not
Okay.
normally me. That's not normally me. And I just feel I don't know.
Would it be okay if I brought a friend into the energy?
Sure.
that is just something that's been programmed by my council. And I'm just going to use a little piece of quartz to do it. Would you like something low level or something really high level?
High level.
Whoa, okay. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, let's just do it high level. As some of you know, I do a lot of work with the Huna and Hawaiian, and also something that I call the Murrian starseed. Well, I found this mineral, the Murrian starseed, that's it's not of this earth, but from this earth, and perhaps not. But here it comes out on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. This is a huge, huge piece of the Lemurian starseed. And as you tune into it, you notice any difference with your level of 2 or 3. Kind of like look at it, kind of taste it, smell it. And I'm just going to do a chant as I'm doing this. And just to show you what happens if we add a little bit of music to it or voice. And it goes something like this. Eka naka loa, eka naka poko, e uia ae halane o, e paka paikalane. Malupa anua ia kamau ili e neku ikano e au aeka u. Me kamala nui nui. And so now taking in a breath. Okay, Joe. Just on whatever level, how are you now? 0 to 10. 5 is neutral. 10 is absolutely awesome. 0 is you want to run out of the room.
The tightness in my my abdomen is definitely it's immediately started going down. So that was good. The tightness is definitely gone.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for playing here. We're going to do a little bit more of this.
Well, and I will
And,
tell you what, I have my little snore here with me, and she
Yeah.
was half asleep. And the minute you started, she was like this. She was looking for where that was coming from. She was wondering where that voice was because she's not,
Not
she's
used to
like,
that.
she's not used to that. Her little old head was going everywhere.
How cute.
So
How cool.
yeah,
How
yeah.
cool.
She was in tune to it as well. Thank
Okay,
you.
we'll go for that. We'll totally go for that. It's about sharing all this. Okay. And Gerald, I see you just joined us here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. And how was the trip back home? Okay. Go ahead and lower right-hand corner, lower left-hand corner. The mic is on or mic is off. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. There we are. I hear you now.
It was a great trip back, and came back to the farm, and the dogs were really happy to get out of the vehicle and do some running around, and I just began seeing clients right away, and actually just getting a chance to rest a little bit today. So
Okay. All
had
right.
some clients, but it wasn't quite as intense. In most ways, I was with Tiffany today, who we talked about.
Yeah, how is she? How is she?
She, we're just doing the just being with her in a good, loving way, working at opening chakra systems as, supporting her in her transition. And there's a lot of love in the house. I cleared fields energetically. There were some monks there that had helped clear the property. Paul is amenable. I was thinking of setting up the triangle on the property that you showed me how to do, and he was all for that. And Paul and you went to MIT together. We were there at the same time, so that was intriguing for him to make that connection. Anyway. So
And then-
yeah.
Okay, you're talking about Maharishi International?
Yes.
Yeah, isn't that okay?
Yeah.
That's an event I went to back in 1977, and what changed my life, and it was had to do with meditation, transcendental meditation. They had an advanced program, and they called it the TM City program or Siddha program, and it was 2 weeks, and I just started graduate school, so I went there in over Christmas break, and on the third day, we were there for like 14 days. On the third day, I levitated in the air on command, and I said, God, if I levitate in the air, I'll be of service for life, and I went up, and that changed my life. And this is back in '77, and so okay, it's nice to have that kind of rapport. And that's Maharishi International University in Fairfield, Iowa. And that was a big thing. And I did it just totally changed my life, because before that I was a geek. I was very high tech. I was a government employee. I worked with very, very high level projects, secret projects. And that's how I started college back in '66. So that was my world before. And then I sort of put my toes into a different world, which was the world of energy and invisible and defile of the laws of physics, at least the way I learned them in school in some pretty prestige colleges. And it's like, whoa, what else could there be in the world? And then every bit of time from then on, I just went more and more woo woo. And I like to say woo woo so people can get real clear that I'm not a physician, have no medical knowledge. I just pass on what I feel, what I know to help me and help other people. So there's my disclaimer. And Chris, first time I see you in a picture. Hi.
Hey, how are you, man? I know I finally figured this iPhone out. All the time you were over there at Lavanya, I never showed a face.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You're the
Okay,
first
well,
one.
no, this is the first. Yay! Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. And I've got some goodies coming to you. I'll talk to you more about them.
All
And
right.
and good. I was asking people if I could put you on the spot and just think a little bit, and I'll ask Gerald this question and then ask you. Okay.
Okay.
Gerald, if I can answer if you could get something from your time here, from something of interest to you, what would it be that you would like to take home with you? What kind of feeling, a learning, that kind of thing?
More of the inner core awareness, the sensation. We worked a little bit, and I had that feeling, opening that up, the relationship to the inner core, and probably recognizing the egoic childhood wounds and putting those in their rightful earthly place.
Beautiful.
That's probably the biggest. And then,
Okay.
being able to transfer that to others in my practice. That's
Okay,
I think that's more than one class, but
okay, I think that's great. And what I'm doing is I'm doing a new scale, because in a lot of places and for a long time I went along with the old scale of what a doctor comes in your when you come in the presence of a doctor or a nurse, it's like, what's your pain level?
Mhm.
So I'm going to change that and see how it may be a little bit awkward at first, but I'm into word, and that is that what is a level 5, you're at bliss. You got all you wanted. You're perfectly okay. No. You're neutral. At level 5, you're neutral. At level 10, you're in bliss. You got what you wanted. You fulfilled. And at 0, you want to get out of the room. You're running out of the room because there's too much pain. Okay. So high level of pain would be 0. Very low level of pain would be ideally at 10. And then in between would be 5.
I think I'm probably at 5 because I can actively, I think just talking about the inner core kind of, I did have these feelings, but just recognizing and lining up a little bit, it kind of dissipated. So I would say neutral because it's at that back and forth spot.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Good place to be. Good place to be. And Reed, may I welcome you? I welcome you. Hello, hello. And may I ask you the same question? What is your level of feeling now? 0 being in pain, you want to run out of the room. 5 being neutral, and then 10 meaning that you're in a state of bliss or a state of fulfillment or joy or whatever is important to you at the time.
Probably 6 or 7, although I am having a teeny bit of pain in my shoulders at the moment.
Okay, would it be okay for that pain in your shoulders to be gone?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so could I take a pause from y'all and kind of change that real quick? Which shoulder?
It's both of them, like right here.
Okay, so look in my eyes. What's the pain level now?
I think it's gone. It's almost at 0 if it's not quite there. Wow, amazing.
Well, just so I don't you don't think I'm doing it. You're doing it because I'm way over here. You're way in Maryland, I believe,
Mhm.
and I'm in Texas. That's a long way away. But just so I can't claim any way of helping. Let me bring in the Lemurian starseed, the big one in the plastic bag. This is how I brought it from Hawaii, and I put it in my baggage and on the plane, and I had plastic, the kind of things you put food in for fast food. So kind of this is going, I'm going to project it on your shoulders right now. And how is that?
Better. It's very strong.
Yes, you are better. Isn't this cool?
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is what I'm going to show you today. And what I'm really doing and what you're doing is working with your inner core. And I'll talk a lot about the inner core here in the next few moments that we're together. Okay. And Chris, may I come to you and ask you the same questions? 0, meaning you've got all kinds of pain, you want to run out of the room. 5, you're neutral with the pain. 10 is you have real strong fulfillment, joy, bliss, that type of thing. So,
Charles,
I'm here.
the volume dropped greatly, almost to 0. I can hear you, but it's very, very low.
Okay, it may be something to do with the connection, because you're on the cell phone. Like you're on the
Okay.
phone. Okay. I'll
Well,
say it
it
again.
was strong, but it so okay.
I can.
When you say you're pertaining to the inner core, not physical pain.
Both.
Well, I have a
related.
slight pain right here on the side of my neck and into my trap.
Okay, good.
But I'd say that might be a 2 or a 3.
Okay.
As far as my feeling, when you say inner core, are you talking about my how I feel in my life experience on this planet?
No, that's yeah, it's the definitions are real important. I thank you for being real aware of that and challenging me. No, just how you are right now. And you can also make it how you are on your planet. It gets to be your choice, okay? And what I'm wanting to do with this new way of calibrating is to kind of stop the putting people in pain, because if you go into a doctor's or if you're in a hospital or that kind of thing, they always ask you the first question, what's your pain level? And 10 is real high, and you want to run out of the room in 10. Well, I'm taking my first step today in public to change that, and change that from a 10 being total bliss, total joy, total fulfillment, 5 being neutral, and 0 being where that you're in pain and you want to run out the room.
I'd say I'm about a 7.
Super, super. Okay, thank you, thank you. And would it be okay if I kind of like when I was playing with Reed with the energy, could I help you remove some of that pain? Keep in mind, I'm way over here in Texas, and this is
Right.
you healing. This is you healing you, and I believe a good part of this energy comes from the inner core. Because what the inner core is doing, your inner core and everyone's inner core, is tuning into the energy of the Lemurian starseed that's right here. And I'm going to, as you're looking at that, just how's your right shoulder area and neck now?
Well, I still feel it, but I think it's a little better.
Okay, okay, a little better is good. And just sort of tune in a little bit to hear. This is it's like in a plastic bag, and that's otherwise because it here, I don't know if y'all can see it, but there's a little bit of dust stuff here at the bottom. Okay, those are little pieces of it, and some of you have received this before in some other classes, and to those of you that haven't, I'm going to send some of this out to you, and because I really want y'all to have y'all is a Texas term. I'd like for y'all to have an experience of how this feels. It's not just going to be about words. The highest value I think I feel that I can give you is a feeling of you're changing what your state is, meaning your physiological state, and especially going from a painful state down at 0 to a joyful state at 10, 5 being neutral. Okay?
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Thank you.
Does that okay? And does that explain it a little bit better?
Yes.
Okay. And what's the pain level now that you've activated more of the energy from your inner core? And this is me going through an experience of your feeling the energy build within your inner core. Because I believe that you'll notice that in say 10 or 15 minutes when I talk about what the inner core is and where it is in your body. There, you feel that? Did you feel that clear out? Whatever you did, just a bubble pop.
Yeah, I felt something right when you mentioned it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And this is you working on you. And this is what I want, what I like to have y'all experience, and then know that you can have this at choice. And that's what my work is about now, is to bring the tools of spirit onto earth to improve our quality of life now. And that's what I want to reveal to you, to let you experience, so you can go back and have a deeper level of this experience. Okay. And I see we have Mary who joined us. Hello, Mary. Mary, you're putting me to the exercise because now I've got to explain my new way of calibrating. Okay. And normally,
I had computer problems.
no, no. I'm naughty for doing that. Me interrupting you or bothering you.
Really?
No. I'm changing the way of asking people how they're experiencing things now. And what I'm saying is what I'm asking is 10 is total bliss, total fulfillment, really feeling good. 0 is neutral, and No, zero, zero. No, no, no. Zero, zero is pain, total pain. You got to run out of the room. That's zero. 5 is neutral. Okay, so it's changing the pain level. Because most medical people, the first thing they do when they meet you, they say, "What's your pain level?" Especially if you went into their office. Well, all you're doing by asking what your pain level is you're calling the person's attention to the pain. And if it wasn't there, they'll create it. Okay, it's called manipulation. And there's a lot of it that goes on. And there's some value to it at times. And I'm gonna give it a go, and I'll let you know what my progress is, okay? Because each of you, I know I've had some conversations with each of you, and let you know my progress on this. And keep in mind, it's one person's attempt at changing, and I feel good about it. But I also make mistakes too, okay? Like I called anyway a few moments ago, I called it the wrong level. And Mary, a question today that I asked everybody, and I would like to ask you if I may, is what is it that you would like to feel today or learn today? What would you consider a real desirable experience today?
Just stop misplacing things and then wasting my time trying to find them when they're right in front of me.
You're talking about me. Okay, okay. So I'll put my attention on that, and I'm going to ask for the same thing, because I've been known to be forgetful about where I put things, but I do end up finding them. I think it's sort of a
Yeah.
little game that's played, and uh, so I'll do this for you, and I'll do this for me, and I'll do this for the group, for this whole way of keeping track of where things are placed. No, because otherwise, if you're not keeping track of where things are placed, you may be accused of being the president. Okay, and that's sort of a little joke because um, with the Alzheimer's thing, that's sort of one thing that's there, or the dementia thing. So there's different levels of that, and actually, there's help now, some real good help for changing things with regard to rebuilding your brain functions, because that's what's happening. The brain functions are just messed up, and on different levels. And one of the key ways to do it is to put in helpful foods in your body as opposed to hurtful foods. And hurtful foods would be foods um, that hurt the body, especially the GI tract, and it affects it totally affects the brain too. And there's some real prestigious doctors that are saying that same thing, and the word is coming out. They're even writing books about it, doing interviews about it, even with the interpretation of brain scans. And so this is a real interest for me because I had a friend who passed recently a few years ago, and he had some of that memory loss. And everybody, whenever you have a little bit of memory loss, especially if you have gray hair or you claim to be older, over 60 or 70, that, oh, well, you're just losing your mind. And that's a lot of what doctors will say. They won't say it in those words, but they'll just say, oh, that's natural. That's natural that you have pain in your joints. It's natural that the brain forgets. That's not natural. And so it's about having some discipline and getting back to that. Okay. Does that help or answer a little bit? Okay. And
Very much.
mhm.
And I can have it right in front of me, Charles. It makes me so mad. I saw what I was looking for right in front of me 2 minutes ago. And when I turned
Well,
around, that very same thing, which was bright red, wasn't there. And I'm going, I give up. But I wasted a good amount of time looking for it, even though it was right there. That's not being present.
It is and it isn't. In a certain line of circles, that's very, very desirable. Because what you're doing is you're going through other dimensions. Because those things that are right in front of you, even if they're bright red in color, if you're unable to see them, you're experiencing, because I do this from time to time, being in other dimensions. Now you could physically be in other dimensions, but also you can see in other dimensions and also hear. So I would say there's a combination there. So in a way, what you're talking about, if you're into working in other dimensions, could be beneficial to you. Is it okay if may I get to your question in a brief moment, Reed? Okay. And I experience this quite a bit, because what I'll do sometimes, and if I could do it with you, would you like to see me disappear? Okay, and you disappear? All right, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect with you very deeply, if it's okay. Okay, and I'm going to look into your eyes, and I want you to look into my eyes, and I'm going to get as close as I can to you. And what the screen view that I'm on is I'm on where everybody has a picture on the screen. And I'm going to go look into your eyes, and you look into my eyes. Just like that. Look into my eyes. There, do you feel that? And how are you feeling now, what you're seeing? Because what I'm doing is I'm going in and connecting with the heart path, and I'll teach about that in a few moments. And then we're going in, and I'm looking into, if you will, what some people call your soul. But what I'm really doing is looking into your inner dimension, your inner core. This whole invisible column of light that's in our runs from the pineal to the tailbone, the tailbone to the pineal in front of the body. Okay, there's going into there, and that's where these other dimensions are, and where I believe a lot of energy comes from that we can use individually ourselves by knowing a few techniques. And this is what I'll be teaching to you, and by also having perhaps some help with some special minerals. I call them rare earth minerals that can make that deeper there. So if you find just an object you're looking at, or even at me, do you notice any difference?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Very much.
So very much so. And all you're doing is changing. You're going into other dimensions. This means, in a way, you're really at an advanced level. Did you ever think that that was going to be said today?
Well,
No? Okay.
let's just say I've had that said to me before, but not necessarily in that way.
Okay. And keep in mind, we're talking over Zoom. So I'm in Texas, and you're, I think, in Florida.
No,
All
I'm
right.
in South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay. Okay. Which is a ways away. All right. And there, do you feel it even getting deeper?
I do.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
much so.
Yeah. So it may be that there are some gifts for you to receive on these from these other dimensions, or perhaps even an acknowledgement.
I feel that. Sometimes I feel
Okay.
it really deeply.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And just to give a possibility here, is that it may be that you share this gift with others and bring lots of fulfillment and joy to them.
So,
So to these objects, especially the red ball that disappears, this could be a sign that that's what you're doing. Would you be open to that as you are
absolutely.
now? Okay.
Oh yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
Does this answer your question?
Yes. Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, you bet. You bet. And if I may, Brandon's taking care of asking the questions. Could I ask Reed to to ask her? Okay. Brandon may come over and slap my hand if I go ahead, Reed, please, your question. And I
Oh,
love
I
questions.
just had a comment if I can share, because I have things that are totally not there. And I complained once to one of my friends who is very intuitive, and she said, oh, it just went to another dimension. You just have to call it back. And so now whenever I can't find something, I just say, bring it back into this dimension. And within like 30 seconds, I find it usually. So just passing that on in case it's useful for other people. But I found
Thank
that
you.
that's helped me significantly find things, because my whole life, things have just gone away and vanished and do not often come back.
Okay, thank you very, very much for sharing. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
All right. All right. So, let me get back to a question of Gerald, with Tiffany. If you could set up a grid around her, that would be real helpful. And that's the best thing that I think could be done. Oops, go ahead and, okay.
There it
You're,
is.
yeah.
So, so just outside of the house in the room, or
I'd do the room.
okay,
And keep in mind, when someone moves one of those stones, that breaks the grid.
okay, I know where to put it. I'll put it in the corners. Yeah.
Yes, yes, that'd be the best thing. And just
Okay.
do the clockwise. And this is something that I'll be teaching here during the classes. Okay. So y'all aren't missing out on anything. It's just that I wanted to address Gerald on that.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So okay.
Maybe take a look at the notebook.
Okay, Brandon, there's some echo coming in. All right. Okay. We just slight technical thing. During the technical thing, I'll chant, okay? Hey, hey, mala kala eka mala kira satatu patata te turu diri dala data tutu dala mana pa kala eka tutu tuduridi misatare tera satato la e ma. Me kamahalo nui nui. Brandon, what was that?
Your binder,
What's with my binder?
your list of questions.
Oh, okay, okay, you've got it. So, from the what was sent on the email, I'm going to answer the questions right here, okay? Or comment on these. And the inner core is the name of an invisible column of light that goes from the, and I'm repeating myself, I know, but it goes from the tailbone to the pineal, pineal to the tailbone, and it's roughly a ½ inch or a centimeter in front of the spine. It grows and it gets smaller. It grows and gets smaller, but it's a way where I believe that we can get an infinite source of energy, because I believe within us that a lot of healing energy, in fact, more healing energy than you could ever get from the outside, is within us. And all you have to do is know how to use it. And that's what I'm going to get into for some very specifics in what we're going to experience. So what I'd like to do is ask you to, first, what I'm going to do is connect each of you, go to each of you one at a time, and ask if I can connect with an inner core. And just so you have an experience of kind of a little bit what the inner core feels like. Would that be okay? All right. And I'm going to say a name and then just go kind of clockwise in the circles that are in a circle, the way this you are on the screen. And so please, Arlie, can I connect with you? And may I ask you to connect with your inner core? Would that be okay?
Yes,
Okay. And when I connect with, is it okay to connect with you?
yes, it is.
Okay. And do you notice any difference when I connect with you?
Yeah, I can feel you.
Okay. Okay, good. And you've worked with the inner core quite a bit. You're very good.
Mhm.
And you're very good with what you do. Okay. And Mary, may I work with you? Okay. And just please notice how you are, kind of like all through your body. And may I connect with you? Okay. Are you connected now
I
with
am,
me?
yes.
And how does that feel different to you?
Feels very pleasant, very, oh,
All right. Super, super. Thank you. Thank you. And now I'm just going clockwise. Reed, may I pay attention to your body, please? Check how it is, how things are flowing, and may I connect with you?
Hmm?
Okay. And do you notice any difference?
No, but as you connected with other people, my energy field got like stronger and the core got stronger.
Okay. Okay. So you've had experience of feeling the inner core before, right?
I'm not sure
Okay. Okay. How would you be sure?
when I could feel it.
So is it okay if I go into your body a little deeper,
Hmm?
where you feel the inner core? Okay. And I want to be very respectful of this. So I'm asking super permission. Um, and let me see what I'm told to do. I told you this was going to be live, and it's going to be me not only doing, because what I would do before in a lot of workshops is people would have a pain, and I'd just clear the pain up for them. And but what I want to do is show the steps that I take as I'm discovering them, and that Brandon has been asking me lots of questions like, well, how do you know this is there? How do you do this? What are you thinking? And isn't that right, Brandon? Okay. So with regard to that, what I want to do is get in more of the deeper steps. This would be called like a deep dive into what it is that I do to get the results that I do. Because I'm real good at getting results. That's what I'm known best for.
So, Charles, I can feel it now.
What changed? What changed?
I don't know, as you started talking about it, I could feel it. So it's to the right, low down on my spine.
Okay. Okay. I'm not putting you, and know that you can increase it, and that you can also, anyone can cut their cords very quickly, which, and the great thing about how I connect with someone with the inner core, and I'll go through the steps again. But what you do, well, I'll go through them right now, if I may. And what I do is just, at my first gas, may I connect with you? And then what I do is go from my inner core through my heart over space. The Hawaiians call them aka cords, AKA, into Reed's heart, into her inner core. So the connection is really inner core to inner core. And if the inner core is memory, so we're connected on that dimension, in that space of nothingness, that where the energy flows. Because if you look at an atom or a molecule, you'll find that there's mostly space there. At least that's what the leading scientists are describing now. And so it's kind of like, where does this energy come from? Within us, around us, inside of us, the inner core. What's the difference? And and how can we get help? And I find that all you have to do is ask, and I'll go more into this, and I'll show it a little bit more, but first I kind of want to go around and connect with everyone. Okay? So I'll be back in a little bit and we'll work with it some more. Would that be okay? Agreed?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay, super. So now next on the clockwise, because as you know, the position changes when people move or that type of thing, is is Chris. And Chris, would it be okay if I connected with you energetically?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm connecting with you. There. And do you feel any difference as you breathe deeply? Do you notice any difference? And if you do, okay. And if you don't, okay.
I can't say that I do. My heart, as soon as you said that in the very beginning, my heart beat a little quicker, but then it went back to where it was. But
Would it
I
be
can't
okay
say
if
that.
okay, no problem. Would it be okay if I connected a little bit deeper with you?
Yes.
Okay. And all I'm doing is just putting out the thought of connecting with Chris via the heart path method, just like that. And the one thing that's really nice about connecting like this is because we're going through the inner core, is that any junky stuff that I have, I keep. The other person, any junky stuff that they have, they get to keep. In other words, it doesn't come through this connection. Because
Okay.
as you know, it's real easy to connect with a lot of other people, and this is a safe way of doing it. And I can show you the differences. Because I remember back in the past years when people were telling me, well, connect with your heart, connect with your heart. I can't feel you in the heart. And I'm going, I don't know how I can connect anymore. But then I also realized that that when you're connecting with another person, and we'll just talk about chakras, and you're saying, well, is it heart, is it solar plexus, or this or that? I found that a lot of times the heart, you first have to have a good connection. You have to have you connect in groups of two chakras. So up until you get at least six chakras connected, and then there's a kind of a quieter feeling. So we're connecting fewer chakras, and we're doing it safer. Because I found that if you just connect with someone's heart, you go to the heart, you connect more likely with the solar plexus. I'm sorry, you connect more likely with the navel, the belly button area. Okay, and the belly button from some books that I've read that I've respected is the place of values, uh, of uh, of sex, of money, of power, and also of creativity. So for a lot of people, those issues, money, power, uh, that's a problem area. And so if you do the hard thing, you're kind of going into a person's problem area, and there's a lot of exchange of that type of energy. And I discovered this over several years, and I had the help of other people that could see chakras I'm sorry, see cords between people. And also one thing I realized that I could do is if I put my hand between the chakras, I could stop, say, the lower chakra, uh, mainly because that's a Ucky people for most of the population, Ucky chakra feeling for most of the people. And it's just in general in what I've experienced when you're talking about money or power or sex versus other qualities. And if and this I'm asked a question I'm asked a lot by people, and they say, well, how can I get out of that? I don't want to have that feeling. It's real simple. Just take on creativity. So just go into creativity. Creativity will take the place of sex. Creativity is being spontaneous. It's about being 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 creative. So I go into creativity and be creative. And maybe in going and not being able to see things dimensionally, you're just going into being creative for some of you. Okay. So saying that or
Okay.
saying those words, any changes, Chris? And if there's not, that's okay.
Well, in my mind, for sure.
Okay. Okay. Your
I
mind
can't
is great.
say I can't proclaim that I can actually feel anything in my inner core.
Okay. No problem.
But that's part of the reason why I'm here. So
You got
trying
it.
to
You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
Can I get more in touch with you and your inner core? I wanted to go through the dialogue that I went through to make sure that it's safe. Okay. That you'll
Sure.
be okay, that you'll be safe. And
Okay.
I wanted just to cover that because I haven't talked that much about it before. And okay, so now I'm just going to send a little bit more energy to you in volume. And it's like the there. Can you feel anything changing as you just breathe deeply or slowly or however?
Well, that's a problem with me. I don't breathe a lot.
And that's okay.
I got to catch myself and say, why aren't you breathing? And I start breathing. So I don't know if that's when I'm concentrating or, but it's a common thing.
Okay.
Um,
Well, let me ask you, is it safe to breathe?
I think it is.
Okay.
I feel it is.
So I'm what I'm doing is I'm asking you some questions to kind of bring some things up. Okay. Would it be
mhm.
okay to clear any issues around it being safe to breathe for you? Because
Sure.
if you breathe, that means that you feel better, that you'd be more joyful, that you'd be happier, uh, um, possibly, maybe not. But then also in the past, there may have been an experience when you had deep breathing and something really dramatic happened. Could it?
I mean, I haven't thought about it too much, but I find myself when I'm concentrating or very hard thinking, that's when I find myself either breathing real shallow or really slow, almost tight in the abdomen and not breathing deep. And when you say breathe deep, then I'm like, okay, and I'm not breathing. So that's, yeah.
Okay, okay. Could I ask you to hold that space for a few moments while I just finish up my going around the circle that's changed a little bit? And I think there's one, and I'll come back to you and we'll work on this, okay? We'll
Okay.
work on just a safe level. But actually, what I'd want to do is first teach you how to connect with any and everything safely.
Okay.
It's a very valuable technique. And actually, I probably should have, there I am, shitting on myself. Um, should have done this before working with the inner core, but I just did something a little bit different. Okay. So, Kay Joe, how are you with feeling with your inner core? I believe you're the last one. Oh, Gerald, I'm sorry. May I go to Kay Joe and then Gerald? Okay, Kay Joe, how are you with feeling your inner core?
Okay, I mean, right now is okay.
Okay, has it been not okay before at another
Oh,
time?
well, yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, what I'll do is I'll do a group experience of this in a moment. And if you were to rate your feeling now, 10 being total bliss, great feeling and all, 5 being neutral, 0 meaning you want to run out of the room for your inner core, what would you say it is right now?
Say about a 7, just a 7.
Okay. Okay. So go ahead and hold on to that and we'll do some things.
Okay.
And we'll come back as a group. All right. Gerald, my friend. Okay. And how are you with connecting to your personal inner core? Please the okay.
I was
There we
going to say, I was with Reed on, every time somebody else did the inner core, you were with them, then I felt my own inner core. And then, but I feel it fairly strongly, probably about an 8.
Okay.
And, depending on what focus I put
Right,
on it.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay,
And
super.
I like what you talked about, the expansion and contraction, because that's actually kind of what it feels like. It's almost like the expansion, the inner core expands, and then I could feel
Yeah,
rigid
it does.
energy from it coming into my body.
It does. It expands, and some people are really, they sense that right away. Other people, they get to discover it. Okay. And let that work on it. Okay. So with that, what I'm going to do is go into teaching each of you to how to disconnect, because I want you to have a safe way to disconnect with anyone at any time, and especially in the sensitive area that I call the inner core. So I'm going to go through and explain this, and I also have it in writing in another form if one of y'all would like that, and I could send that to you via email, or maybe even print it out to everyone. But what I'm going to do is well, the name of it is Ho'oponopono, and it's the Hawaiian forgiveness technique. It's right here on the bottom. We're just jumping to the place that's most important. Okay. And it's one of the most powerful ways that I've felt and know about how to disconnect from people. And you can disconnect from individuals or from groups and other options. So how I learned it was from a gentleman named, in the lineage of Uncle George on the Big Island of Hawaii. And the Hawaiians recognize that there's aka cords going between members of families. And so in families, if there's turmoil or bad feelings, a lot of times, in fact, most of the time, they get together and have a Ho'oponopono. Because what you do is you break the cords between others and you reset them. So what you do is you reset at a different emotion. If there was anger or pain or something like that, it may just disconnect all that, or and usually it does, but that's how you disconnect. Now this can also be applied to others that aren't in the family, and that's the area that I'm going to introduce to you. And so I'm just going to walk you through this as a group. And as a group, in walking you through this, I'm going to ask you to imagine that you're going into a theater that has seats that are unoccupied, that you walk down the stage to, and it's at an angle. So walking into your theater, go ahead and go into your theater and notice when you come to a stop, you're looking down at a 45-degree angle, and notice what color the flooring is. Is it wood, or is it dark? Is it light? Is it tile? And just kind of notice that. And then notice anything that's behind the stage, like usually it's a curtain or maybe some drawings or something like that nature. So what I'm going to do is ask you to, with your eyes open or closed now, to go ahead and talk and tell yourself the color of and what the floor is made of, and what the curtain is, and looking down at a 45-degree angle, what I'd like for you to do is to call up a person on stage that your mind mildly have some emotion toward that's negative, that's called negative. It could be anger, it could be sadness, it could be someone who pulled in front of you when you were driving 2 weeks ago. Just pick one of those, okay? And it can be male or female, but just one individual. You can know the name of the person or not know the name of the person. And I'm just going to walk you through this real quick and then ask some questions, okay? So ask for the person to imaginary be on stage and look at the expression on their face. Are they tight? Is it anger? What's there? And more than anything, looking down at a 45-degree angle, can you notice if there's any kind of connection between the two of you? Say perhaps an invisible cord, an invisible light, an invisible feeling. And just kind of notice what it is. And just as you're noticing what it is, just silently tell the person that you're going to cut the cords, you're going to cut the connection with them. And so I know we're moving kind of fast, but in a moment, what I'm going to ask you to do is to call in your highest power that would cut the cords by, say, a sword, a light, and higher power. It's a higher power. It could be the highest power that's going to take an instrument and cut the cords. And notice the name of who's doing this for you, and notice how they are, how you feel with them. And I'm going to do this real quick because I want you to just silently by name call this person their name that you call them and say, person, I want you to cut all the cords totally and completely now. Okay, are you all ready to do that? Just nod your head up and down. Okay, great. Go ahead and ask for your cords to be cut now. Hear them being cut. All the cords are totally and completely cut. Anything that's left that's hanging onto your body, your skin grows over it better than before. Look down on the stage, notice what happens. And notice when that person is totally and completely disappeared now. And just hold your hand or finger up of your right hand, and that gives me a sign that that person's disconnected. Okay, Harley, got it. Okay, and Reed, are you disconnected with the person? Go ahead and talk a little bit. Everybody else is disconnected, but Reed, I can't hear you. Please, if you could. Okay.
Apologies. Yeah, they're still hanging by a thread.
Okay, so go ahead and look down at 45 degrees. And what color lighter is the energy using? Don't tell me the name of your highest power, but just notice the light that they're using.
Sorry, I didn't catch the question. Can you just repeat that, please?
The highest power that you called on to cut the cord. Notice the color of that cord, and go ahead and ask that highest power again to cut the cord, and let me know when it's cut. Now.
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay, and what happened? What's on stage?
Nothing.
That's it. That's the whole technique. Now I'm going to go into more details and ask the same questions, but this is a real good group here because everybody's cords are cut. The person's gone. You're disconnected from them. You can immediately think of them again and you'll be reconnected. So that's how it works with the families, that you'll just immediately be reconnected, but you'll be reconnected on a different level. Arlie, go ahead and ask the question, please, Arlie.
Gerald asked a question in the chat. You're probably not paying attention to that.
Oh,
but
okay.
He wanted to know, do we auto connect with others? And I told him yes, but you're getting into that. So I thought I'd bring it up so you can maybe talk about that a little bit, how we automatically connect with others.
Absolutely, and we connect with a whole lot of people, and I was going to work up to that, but as always with Arlie, we just jump right into it to the deepest level possible. I've known Arlie for quite a while, and so yes, we connect with other people unconsciously, and they may connect with us and we not know it. All right, and a lot of people that are that and especially people that touch the body, like massage people or healers that touch the body, they get deeply connected with their client. And what happens is the client's real happy. They all their pain's gone, and there's still pain that the practitioner has that's still there, and the client is still using the practitioner's energy to feel better. So unless you cut that cord and you're a practitioner, your energy is just going to be continuously drained. So what I recommend you do, and I'll teach you again how to do it several ways. I'll show you how long it takes me to cut cords, okay? But unless you cut the cords, unless the cords are cut between you and your client, your energy is going to be drained. It just means you have to spend more time energizing yourself. And in fact, if anyone's familiar, I used to teach this into massage schools and a lot of practitioners. And this, they were saying, best thing they've ever had. Um, so let's see. It takes me this long to disconnect from everybody. Okay, you feel me disconnected? It's that simple. Because I've repeated it and repeated it and repeated it, I do it that simply. And it's about repetition, repetition, repetition. Yes, you do have to practice. You do have to do it. It's not like three years from now you do the Ho'oponopono again. If you kind of use it, it'll very quickly you'll be able to cut energies very quickly. Okay. So I know I did. Do you notice the difference in the amount of time that it took to cut the cords? You want me to connect with you as a group and then cut the cords real quick? Just so you have an experience of that? Okay, I see. I'll do a group connection, and I'm going to do this only for a short time, like 10 seconds, and then I'll cut the cords, just so you have an experience. Because if we were personally in group, if we were in a room and we were there physically, I could come over and put my hands closer to you in that. And what I found is that working on Zoom, we can still do this energetically, and it works, and it still works. Okay. So now, okay, I'm going to connect with y'all, and then I'm going to disconnect. Here I'm connected with all of you at once. Notice the connection. Now I disconnect with everybody. I'm disconnected. It's that simple. It's that quick. Now, it took a lot of practice. I mean, we can measure the amount of practice in weeks, months, years. Okay, because I get better as I do it. And that's what I do with most of the techniques that I've learned is that work, is that I'll just learn better ways to do them faster. Okay. Did everyone kind of like feel the connection and then it broken? Okay. Okay. Does anyone have a question about that? Okay, and anything in writing on the thing, Brendan?
Nothing on the writing there, but so maybe we'll go to the binder, the next one.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's what I'm gonna say is, just so things can settle and so we can, wow, is time going by pretty quick. Okay. I'm having such a good time here. Y'all can realize that we've already been going about an hour and 13 minutes if you look at a clock, give or take. And I said we'd go and do some things, have some experiences, and then the last 30 minutes would be questions. So let me do a hands thing here. Would you like for me to take questions for the next 20 minutes or so? or would you like for me to continue explaining some things? Okay, all those for questions? Okay, all those to continue explaining some things. Okay, the explaining things did it. What I'll do is, if you'll make note of your questions, I'll do a little tape that will answer your questions. Okay. What I'll do is I'll post it somewhere and make, oh boy, Brandon's making funny faces. What I could do is do a video to honor your time. I'll do a video and I'll do my best to answer your questions with a video answer. Would that be okay? And I'll send it to you via email. Okay. 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 And the questions in the chat. So go ahead and write the questions in the chat. And as soon as we can technically do this, and by the way, Brandon's an excellent with tech, so you may even find what he's got to do is corner me, so I'll answer the questions. But as far as getting all the things done, he gets it done real quick. Okay. So what I want to do is then go a little bit deeper into working with the Ho'oponopono, in that there may be someone that that you're having a real strong negative relationship with, and that keeps on reoccurring. And there's what I want to do. Bear with me a moment. I'm getting some new instructions. So a little bit higher power than me. Okay. They want me to, okay, I talked about the heart path connection. We experienced Lemurian starseed. I want to talk just a little bit about a little gift that I have for y'all, because I said I'd like for y'all to experience the energy in a way that's as deep as can be, and I'm talking about where your body can feel the experience. So what I have is a little gift for you, and I'm going to send you a little envelope, number 10 envelope, with some a little bitty small Lemurian starseed crystals, with at least 2 of them, some programmed quartz crystals, and we'll go into how to use this next week, same time, same place. And then I'm going to put in some grounding stones. These will be stones that if you start feeling awkwardly, you can put on the bottom of your feet or on your ankle, and it'll drain the negative energy down through your inner core into the molten core of Mother Earth. Okay. So we'll get that in the mail to you, and it's just going to be an envelope with a regular stamp on it. So be looking for that. We'll probably get it in the mail tomorrow. And so we can have a little bit more to experience. I thought that it'd be nice to have a mineral that you can feel and have a little bit deeper experience. Would that be okay? Okay, if I send it? All right. And y'all are writing down the questions. And I'll get this out to you. I know it's putting extra effort on me, but not really, because I enjoy talking about this. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I enjoy talking about energy and things like that. And more importantly, I enjoy watching things change quickly. Not so much for me, but who I'm working with. Okay. So what I found is that, and I found this from working with EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, and it was put at. Is everyone familiar with EFT, where you do tapping? Is most everyone familiar with it? Okay. Well, if not, there's a gentleman named Gary Craig out of California, and he put this technique out. It's real simple. You just tap certain places on your body, and essentially emotions leave. And what you're doing is you're touching acupuncture points or meridian points, the beginning or the end of those points, and that has the most impact. And some people think you have better impact. This right here is a way of starting. And you usually say, even though I'm a bad person because I snore at night or just whatever, I totally and completely forgive myself. And then you go to your points. And I found you could get 80% of the results if you just work with your collarbone here and press these points right here, known as the collarbone points. And if you'll tap those, if you'll do your saying here, I totally and completely forgive myself. Okay. And this right here takes care of 80% of issues. How's that for a short explanation? All right. I invite you to, it's the heel of the hand. The heel of the hand.
Right or left?
Both. It works with either or both. Either or both. And what it does is there's so many overlapping acupressure meridian points there that and by the way, Gary and I talked quite a bit on the phone, and he gave me permission to teach with this technique. He's since passed, but it was very, very valuable. But what I found is that you could even have faster results, and I found those with some minerals that I bought at the Gem and Mineral Show, and also from a jeweler in the Dallas area. And these were supposed to be special. And I went, well, what's special about it? I have all this quartz, and that's really cool. They said, no, this is stronger. This is stronger. So I got some of that. I bought some of that. Many, very, very expensive. And I call them rare earth minerals. Now, back when I bought them, I called them power stones. And here, about a year ago, I started using the word rare earth minerals. And the Lemurian starseed is one of the most powerful of them. But what I found that it does is this rare earth mineral. What it does is it pulls energy from the inner core. So whenever you're using it and you touch your body with these rare earth minerals, and this right here is just a piece of programmed quartz that's really quite big. And if I put this on a part of my body and say that I wanted to, well, I'll just go for, I put it up here and I send energy to y'all. I want you to know if you can feel it more or less. And here I'm sending money to, energy to everyone. And notice the intensity that you feel or don't feel of this. Now, the only thing I'm doing is I'm connecting with y'all, and I put my rose quartz. It's a chip. It's just a discard chip for people that are making jewelry type things. And I'm going to take it off on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Did any of you notice a difference when I did that? And if you didn't, that's okay. But some people do, some people don't. Keep in mind, I'm kind of trying to cover some things so I can stay to the 4:30 time frame. And here I put it on my, we'll say the heart area, but the heart area is truly a little bit over to the left, and for most people. And what's happening is that there's an infinite source of energy coming from your inner core that goes out to wherever it is in your body that you have problems. And so you have this inner core. Well, how can I build it up? How can I build it up so I can get more power from it? Because is there something, or do I just depend on random chance that it may be working? You can actually rebuild it, rebuild it, and use it for yourself. Let me show you the exercise for rebuilding your inner core. And what you do is you place your hands in 6 positions where you're sending energy between your hands while they're touching parts of your body that are very specific. And I'll go through them. Okay, so we're going to send energy between your hands, and your hand's going to be touching certain parts of your body. Okay, and there are 3 parts of your body. We're going to touch over the ovaries in the lower abdomen area. We're going to touch on the left breast, the nipple more specifically. this part of the hand and where the nipple is, and like cup the nipple, all right? And you have a left nipple, right nipple, and a left nipple on my body, all right? So we're just going to touch 6 points. You can do them in any order, but I put together a little bit of an order, and I'll do this for you now, so you experience of it, okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my left hand where on the lower abdomen, okay? Oh, I do have, okay, there we are, all right? And I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to put my right hand over my right breast, the right nipple. I refer to it as the breast, and I refer to the putting it over the lower abdomen. I call it the lower abdomen. This is actually where creation comes from. It's between the ovaries. A lot of times people get upset when you talk about those type things way down there. But what we're doing is we're going into where creation comes from, where life comes from. We're building up energy between life and nurturing. Nurturing. The breasts are for nurturing. Okay. And guys, you started off as a female, okay, but you just changed opposite. But we don't know. I don't know what to call a male or female these days. But that's another story. That's another thing. But when notice, and what I notice when there's a connection between the two is there'll be a bump. It'll be like a bump, 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 slower than your heartbeat. Okay, and let that build. Now I call this first position. Second position, what I do is I move the right hand to the left breast. So right hand on left, right on left. Send energy between both. Send energy between both. And just imaginary send them between both, and kind of through your body would be more ideal. Because what you're doing is you notice that you're going through the inner core. In that inner core, you're energizing it, also known as clearing it and that type of thing. Okay. And then for third position, I'm just going to stand up, but I'm going to take my right hand and go down to the abdomen, my left hand over the left breast. And then I sit down so you can get a full body picture. Well, if I step back, no, my camera's limited in where I can be. The wall is limiting it. Okay. But so left hand on left breast, right hand abdomen, and feel the energy. And this comes up. You do it over time. I do it at least once or twice a day. It takes me 4 or 5 minutes or 20 minutes, just however I feel that particular day. Okay. Now I'm going to go to fourth position. Fourth position is I move my right hand. I move my I move my left hand to the right side, the right breast. Okay. And I let the energy go between where the two hands are. So now energy is going between the abdomen. That is the life part of you're creating stem cells. This gets stem cells simulated. You can get them from a better place than having and cheaper place than having to go for an operation for $10,000 or whatever. Yeah. So just send energy between there. Okay. And then the next two are real easy. So I'm going to go to the fifth position, and I know I'm going real quick with this. All right, but and if you need help, drop a line to me, and I'll send something to you in writing, perhaps, or maybe I'll do that on a video. So now I'm going to fifth position. Is I just where my hands are now, right hand, lower abdomen, left hand, right breast. I just move it, the right hand, right breast, left hand, left breast. And I send energy between the two. Let's see here. Send energy between the two. There, that's better. You can see that now. Okay. Okay. That's all right. And now the last position is I just cross the hands. So now right hand is left breast and is right breast. And this is position 5. And go to feel in the energy. And those are the positions. do those. Take just roughly maybe a minute, a point, that type thing. And if you only do 3 points, that's okay. If you do them in a different order, that's okay. And so with that, we're getting real close to 4:30, and I want to keep to the time.
Gerald has one question about the Ho'oponopono.
Okay. Can I answer this for the group later? Would it be okay if I answer it in a group later, Gerald? Okay. I'll do a video and send it out to you. Fair enough? Okay. So anything that anyone wants to say or ask real quickly before we go? Arlie, you're wanting to say something, are you? I can't.
I'm, there we go. It would be too complicated. It'll pass the time and everything. So the next one I'll ask.
Okay. Oh my God, there's a miracle happening. Thank you, Arlie. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. All right. So anything anybody wants to say for last before I do a chant and we close?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Has
Okay.
been
And now I do the
wonderful,
now I do the
exactly
energy
what I
here.
needed.
E kamalaila sala kaya rumatata se kuro para hata peda to se kuro bana male alale. Kula la la de kadera da se kuro mono mana de bora wa wa wa. So be it. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.